Yeah, man. At this point, it's obvious what they're trying to do. It is so blatant and obvious that they trying to keep their slaves from escaping. Listen, I told y'all already that this is the new slavery, right? America needs slaves to continue to run, right? So they're trying to do everything possible to keep their slaves here, right? If you want to leave, guess what? You got to pick this country or the other country. F the Constitution, right? Yeah, the Constitution don't matter. The Constitution hasn't mattered since his last term. The Constitution don't matter really unless we're talking about the rich and elite. I mean, or the poor. Like, it does not matter, right? Everybody can sidestep the Constitution as long as it's for power, as long as it's for money, right? The same thing with laws. People can sidestep the laws as long as they got some money, as long as they got some power, right? The legal system is not really the legal system. The legal system is the legal system to the ones who have no money, right? To little old me and you and Joe Smo who ain't got no money to their name, right? The legal system is for us, right? Us po folks, right? Not billionaires who can afford multi-million-dollar lawyers, right? Not multi-millionaire moguls who can afford, the best lawyers in the game, right? The same rules for thy, not for I. That's how that goes, right? So, as of recent, we've had a senator, or is he a congressman, right? A Colombian-born congressman out of Ohio, Mr. Moreno, right, has introduced legislation, right, to end dual citizenship, which, by the way, is against the Constitution. But I'm not too savvy on that side of the Constitution, so I'm not going to speak too heavy in the logistics of all of that. But I have seen that it is against the Constitution and the constitutional rights of American people to get dual citizenship, right? Essentially, it will be stepping on the right to the right of pursuit of happiness, essentially, right? It'll be stepping on the right to pursue happiness, right? Free will, essentially, right? Like I said, I don't know all of the logistics around that. I'm gonna do more research. However, I just find it funny, right? So we already at odds with, Colombia, Venezuela. Trump is trying to go toe to toe with some African nations, basically just pulling people out of a hat, pulling names out of a hat, and just basically saying, "I choose you, Pokemon." Right? This ninja at this point just choosing people to go toe to toe with. Right? We really don't have any real enemies, right? Besides what, China on the economic level, Russia, right? Iran, right? Those big three, but everybody else, like, it's so funny because we're trying to go to war with small puppies, right? People who don't stand a chance, right? I don't understand it, right? The real threats, we will never cross those lines. I just want y'all to understand, right? This is some lame BS. Just a side note, right? This is like when you get picked on, right? And then the other person start laughing out. No, he don't have nothing to do with it, right? But there was other people laughing too, but you picked him specifically out of the crowd because you felt like he was less of a threat. You looked at him and you sized him up and realized, yeah, I can take him. I can take that ninja. Yeah, you laughing? All right. I seen your mama the other day. Like, yeah, you pick him out of the crowd because you feel like that was an easy win, right? We ain't going to war with the big dogs. China is a big dog, right? Iran is a big dog, but I mean, Iran could go haywire, but it's backed by Russia, another big dog, right? Who they wouldn't dare cross those lines with, truth be told, right? And I say all that to say is I find it funny how a Colombian born immigrant come over here. Yeah, he came over here as a kid, sure. Right? But still Colombian born, not initially an American citizen, right? You come over here, right? Renounce your Colombian citizenship, and you think that you about to tell everybody else, right, that they got to get rid of theirs because you chose to get rid of yours, ninja. You better deport this ninja, revoke this ninja's naturalization, right? Look at this. I just want y'all to put this into perspective. A foreign-born, right, congressman, right, renounced his citizenship, right? He became a citizen at 18 years old, right? He came over here at 5, right? Became a U.S. citizen at the age of 18, right? And I don't know his complete history, but then got into politics, became a congressman of Ohio, a representative of Ohio. Now this ninja is on his knees trying to give Dumpy Dump a good BJ, right? Because we're clearly at odds with Colombia, so he feel like he should give his 2 cents. Right now he wanna say, well, I came over here at 5, got my U.S. citizenship at 18. I pledged all my allegiance to the U.S. and I renounced my Colombian. Bro, don't nobody give a damn. Don't nobody care that you renounce your citizenship. Don't nobody care. Good kudos to you, ninja. But your immigrant ass is not about to come over here to the US of A. I don't care how long you've been over here. And tell people who fought for this country, tell people who are US born, right? People who sworn to defend the US Constitution, you ain't about to bring your immigrant ass over here and tell everybody that, oh, because I renounce my citizenship, y'all gotta renounce y'all's too, and you gotta show allegiance to the U. Man, send his ass back to Colombia. The hell are you talking about? Get this ninja up out of here. Come over here. Listen, I'm tired of immigrants. I'm tired of immigrants, right? Getting on this high horse and talking this bull crap. Quite frankly, I'm tired of it. Ninja, I don't care if you came over here when you was 1. You was born in Colombia. You're a Colombian, right? I don't care if you're a congressman, right? Deport this ninja, right? End his naturalization. Conflict of interest, ninja. Something. Pull this ninja files. I'm sure he's trafficking or something. Right? Y'all gotta have some on this ninja. Y'all got everything on Trump, right? Let me see everybody else files. Because ain't no way, like, bro, they're doing everything possible. Everything possible to destroy the US. Right? Because best believe, and then too, this is something that could very well backfire. I don't think it'll pass at all because it is a violation of the Constitution, period. Right? But you'll be surprised. I mean, you don't know in today's time. But they're doing everything possible to prevent the freedom of movement. They're doing everything possible to prevent the pursuit of happiness. Right? They're doing everything possible to stop you from getting to the goal that you set for yourself. Now, if that goal is to leave the US, but you want to retain your US citizenship for whatever reason, right? People have their own individual reasons on why they want to retain their US citizenship, right? Some people just can't see themselves renouncing their US citizenship because US is all they know, but they want to explore other places. That's their own individual, like they can do that, right? Or some people have family here, so they don't want to go through processes and hiccups, right? If they were to renounce their U.S. citizenship, they just want the freedom of movement to be able to come back and see family, move back and forth to whatever other country that they have citizenship in, right? You have some people doing that. Some people do business in the United States, right? And they go back and forth, right? And they don't have to go through all the hiccups of immigration and all that stuff because they're an actual U.S. citizen, right? And another reason why I think it don't pass because you already know who have dual citizenship. Those you know who's those who stay in Whoville, right? Y'all know who Whoville. Y'all know where Whoville is, right? Those who stay in Whoville, They have dual citizenship and they running this bitch. So unless y'all about to say everybody who is not a citizen of Whoville, right? Everybody who is not a citizen of Whoville, you got to renounce your citizen. You got to pick a side, right? You got to pick a side. You got to pick a country. If they're about to say that, then we already know what's going on. Everybody but those who stay in Whoville. And I'm speaking in I'm speaking in code. Y'all know who Whoville is, right? Because they have dual citizenship, right? You got people in that the administration right now who have dual citizenship, right? First and foremost, why are we talking about the citizens? Why does the citizens matter? First and foremost, why does the citizens matter? Right? That has nothing to do with it. And it makes no sense. All the school shootings that we've seen, ninja, like done by U.S. citizen, right? Shoot them up, bang bang, ninjas in the club and the bars, U.S. citizen, right? The Afghan national, right, who shot the two what you call it, the National Guard members, right? He was naturalized, whatever the word is. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? He went through naturalization. Right? He was trained by the U.S. Right? He wasn't an Afghan immigrant like on a green card or over here just on a visa. Nah, he was essentially a U.S. citizen, naturalized, but he was a U.S. citizen essentially. Right? So why does that matter? Why first don't we start with you ninjas? How about we start with Mr. Moreno? Send his ass back. Right? Send his ass back. I don't care how long he been there. Let's start with him first. Let's start with Mr. Moreno since he want to get it started. Ninja, we don't care what that you renounce anything. Ninja, send a ninja back to Colombia. Right? Let's start with him first. And then let's get everybody else up out of there who have dual citizenship, especially the ones from Whoville. Right? Who's pulling all the strings, right? Funding wars, right? Paying off U.S. politicians, right? Let's get rid of some of them wives up in there too, right? Y'all getting in y'all wives from Eastern Europe, from Ukraine, right? Russia, right? Y'all getting all these chicks from overseas and bringing them over here. Let's get rid of that dual citizenship too. Let's get rid of some of y'all kids dual citizenship too. Let's start with the politicians. Let's start with the people in power if we're going to keep it all the way funky, ninja. If we're going to keep it all the way 100, let's start with the politicians. I'm all aboard. I'm all aboard. I'm all aboard. All aboard. I'm all aboard if we start with the powers that be. Now, if all of them renounce their citizenship, if the billionaires renounce their citizenship, right, send Elon ass back to South Africa, right, especially his ass. Send Elon ass back to South Africa. He has all the shit to say about South Africa, right? Send his ass back so he can go over there and fix it then. Right? So let's renounce Mr. Moreno, the congressman out of Ohio, the Colombian ninja. Let's renounce his ass, send his ass back across the border, right? Let's go ahead and get Elon ass up out of here, send his ass back to South Africa, right? Who else? Right? Is Melania even a U.S. citizen? Donald Trump, you got to send Shawty back, right? You got to send her back, right? Who else? Vivek, let's look into this ninja too. Let's look into all of these ninjas, right? Everybody got, now you want to introduce legislation, right? But then you aiming it at the citizens. This is a war on citizens. This is a war on the constitutions. This is a war on the U.S. Constitution. Why would you even present such a bill? Why even play like that? That's my thing. Why introduce something that you know is unconstitutional unless you plan on violating the Constitution, unless you plan on trying to violate the Constitution? Y'all see the games that they play? They're trying to keep their slaves here. And here's the fact of the matter, too. Most people can't even afford to go that route anyway. So most people are already cast aside in the first place. Most people can't afford to move overseas. Most people can't afford to go through the process to get dual citizenship, right? Most people can't do it. Most people in the United States is ignorant in the first place. They don't even know how to tie their shoes, right? They don't even know how to blow their nose. They don't even know how to say excuse me, right? They don't even have basic mannerisms, let alone try to move across the globe, right? So most people in America were doomed in the first place, right? So who exactly are they attacking? Hmm. Just follow the money, right? They're trying to keep, it sounds like to me, they're trying to attempt to keep the citizens who do have the money, right? Who do have some leeway. They're trying to basically keep them here or make them choose which side or which country do you want to show allegiance to, right? Allegiance? Really? Allegiance? I thought America was the home of the free. This is what I'm talking about. See, you ninjas think that you're free. You think that you're free. You're not really free, right? You're free until somebody else say that you're not. Easy with a swipe of a pen. Just like that. And you see how easy it is to introduce legislation just to get the conversation started. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? If the US were to do that, that'll be the end of the US. Point blank period. That'll be the end of the US. Right? And this is not the US of the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, even the 90s. This is not the US, right? Tourism is down. People are not coming into the country like that, right? People are not visiting the country like that, right? We've created enemies of allies. Many people don't look at the US the same, right? Yes, US still has a power stronghold, don't get me wrong. I know that clearly. But people are not viewing the US the same economically as they did before. So, if you were to take away that dual citizenship, right? People will just outright stay where they are. People will literally make a choice. It's not going to go the way that the US think is going to go, right? Mr. Moreno, right? It ain't going to go the way that you think it's going to go. It ain't going to go the way that you think it's going to go, Mr. Moreno. All right? That's more Cuban, ain't it? That's more Cuban, ain't it? Or that's Colombian, right? But it ain't going to go the way that you think it's going to go, Mr. Moreno. Okay? Right? Because if people have to choose between the US of today and whatever country that they're in, and they still can make the money that they're in, because you can't dictate how they make the money, right? You can't dictate, what company that they work for, right? So as long as they get to make the money, however they get to make it, then the sky's the limit. And people are going to choose whatever is deemed peaceful for them, especially in today's time. You're really going to make people choose if they got a dual citizenship and they're able to make money, right? Especially remotely or just as a business, right? And you're going to make them choose. I guarantee you, people more than likely will probably choose the other country that they move to, because 9 times out of 10, if they don't, especially if they don't have family roots there, right? And even if they do have family roots there, they chose that country for a reason, right? They chose that country for a reason. They chose to get that dual citizenship for a reason. So you're gonna make people choose, then you just canceled out millions of people who brought money to the economy, because those people who can afford to do that, right, are bringing in a substantial amount of money into the economy. So if you're gonna do that, you're gonna cut that and you're gonna kill the economy. I guarantee it. But anyway, like I said, I got to do more research on it, right? Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. Why are they introducing uh unconstitutional legislation? For why? Por qué? Right? Why is a Colombian immigrant who got to be a representative for Ohio? I don't know how that happened, right? We need to do some investigation on that ninja, right? How does he get to tell US citizens born and raised and served militarily that, oh, we got to renounce any other citizenship that we may have? Who the fuck are you? Send his ass back. Tell me what you guys think down in the comment section, man. Man, we're in unprecedented times. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. Uh Because you damn sure don't want me to choose. Because I'll damn sure choose whatever I want to choose. Right? Like, comment, subscribe, and this is an after pill. Peace.
I built a life. I built a family. I worked my hands raw to get here. And I'm not done. This is the escape blueprint. PFP Life. A way out of the grind and into control. You'll learn how I stack cash, build systems, and reclaim time so you can live on your own terms. You will watch me maneuver and grind towards the life that I achieve for myself, and you can also do the same. Join the circle, join the Patreon, learn the steps, and protect your freedom. The Escape Blueprint, PFP Life.